My wings were strong and tireless, but I didn't know the mountains. In age, I knew the mountains, but my weary wings could not follow my vision. Genius is wisdom and youth.
Willard got me with child, knowing full well that I could not bring forth life without losing my own. In my youth, therefore, I entered the portals of dust. Travelers believed, in the village where I lived, that Willard loved me with a husband's love. But I proclaim from the dust that he slew me to gratify his hatred.
My wife lost her health and dwindled till she weighed scarce 90 pounds. Then that woman, whom the men styled Cleopatra, came, and we married ones all broke our vows, myself among the rest. Years passed, and one by one, death claimed them all in some hideous form. And I was borne along by dreams of God's particular grace for me. And I began to write, reams on the second coming of Christ. Then Christ came to me and said, "Go into the church and stand before the congregation and confess your sin." But just as I stood up and began to speak, I saw my little girl who was sitting in the front seat. My little girl who was born blind. After that, all is blackness.
Here lies the body of Lois Spears, born Lois Fluke, daughter of Willard Fluke, wife of Cyrus Spears, mother of Myrtle and Virgil Spears, children with clear eyes and sound limbs. I was born blind. I was the happiest of women, as wife, mother, and housekeeper, going about the rooms and making my home a place of order and bounteous hospitality. For I went about the rooms and about the gardens with an instinct as sure as sight, as though there were eyes in my fingertips. Glory to God in the highest.
God bless the moon and God bless me. God bless the somebody I want to see.
How do you think I get on in the world? I bought me a saddle and several other things. South to the mules and died in the spring. What do you think that I made of her hide? The finest saddle you ever did ride. Saddles, bridles, or any such thing. South to the mules and died in the spring. What do you think that I made of her feet? The finest pickles you ever did eat. Pickles, knuckles, or any such thing. South to the mules and died in the spring. What do you think that I made from my wife? A broom of bristles that'll last a whole life. Brooms, brushes, or any such thing. South to the mules and died in the spring.
I bought every kind of machine that's known. Grinders, shellers, planters, mowers, mills and rakes and plows and threshers. And all of them stood in the rain and sun, getting rusted, warped, and battered. For I had no sheds to store them in, and no use for most of them. And toward the last, as I thought it over there by my window, growing clearer about myself as my pulse slowed down, and I looked at one of the mills I bought, which I didn't have the slightest need of, as it turned out, and I never ran. A fine machine, once brightly varnished and eager to do its work, now with its paint washed off. I saw myself as the good machine that life had never used.
Here I lie, close to the grave of old Bill Pearsall, who grew rich trading with the Indians, and who afterwards took the bankrupt law and emerged from it richer than ever. Myself grown tired of toil and poverty, and beholding how old Bill and others grew in wealth, robbed a traveler one night near Proctor's Grove, killing him unwittingly while doing so, for the which I was tried and hanged. That was my way of going into bankruptcy. Now we who took the bankrupt law in our respective ways sleep peacefully, side by side.